Today, Colorado Supreme Court will hear arguments related to the 2020 Orson case in Green Valley Ranch that killed 5 people.
The justices will review the use of a Google search warrant used to arrest 3 teens in connection with this case. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon joins us now. And Courtney, there's questions about the legality of this warrant.
Yeah, that's right. Back in November, a Denver judge ruled evidence taken from the Google search warrant is permissible in the murder case. An attorney for one of the suspects argues the evidence was obtained unconstitutionally and should be excluded. Later on today, the Colorado Supreme Court will hear arguments for both sides. The defendants, Gavin Seymour and Kevin Bowie, were 16 years old at the time of the crime. They're charged as adults, facing charges of premeditated murder and dozens of other counts. The third suspect was 15 at the time. He pled guilty and was sentenced in juvenile court. Investigators say that the case was cold for months until a search warrant for a Google search history helped lead them to the 3 teen suspects. Police say the Google search warrant showed Seymour and 2 other defendants looked up the home's address multiple times before the fire. Defense attorneys argued the search warrant violated Seymour's rights.
The search that law enforcement used in this case implicates broad privacy concerns that should worry every citizen in the country.
By searching the address and finding everybody who had Googled that address, that didn't interfere with the privacy interests of hardly anybody except the individuals who actually committed the crime. It's anything but surprising the judge has upheld the search.
In terms of motive, police say Bowie was trying to get back at the person who stole his phone during a drug deal a few weeks before the fire. Investigators say a computer app tracking the phone led the teens to the wrong house. 5 members of a family were killed, including a 2-year-old girl and a 6-month-old girl. That Supreme Court hearing is set for 10:30 this morning. We'll be watching and we'll keep you updated.
Such a senseless crime. It's just so sad. All right, Courtney, thank you. 3 teenagers are now facing more than a dozen charges, each for a deadly series of rock attacks on drivers last month. The 3 18-year-olds are accused of throwing rocks at 7 drivers across Jefferson Boulder counties on one night. One of those drivers was Alexa Bartel. She was driving home when a rock went through her windshield, killing her. Investigators say the teenagers turned around to take a picture of Bartel's car and met the next day to get their story straight. The teens are all facing 1 count of first-degree murder plus charges for attempted murder and assault. They're scheduled to be in court again next Wednesday.
A homeowner is trying to get their tiny home back after it went missing, and law enforcement found it in Kansas. The sheriff's office in Hamilton County, right on the Colorado-Kansas state line, says the Colorado State Patrol asked them to look out for a stolen trailer in a tiny home. Deputies found both the house and the trailer in the town of Coolidge. They say 3 people were trying to install lights on the house. Deputies arrested all 3 of them. Now, the sheriff's office says the owner of the tiny home is making arrangements to bring it back to Colorado.
Nearly 3 years after voters said yes to bringing wolves back to Colorado, the state is moving forward with a final plan to actually make it happen. The plan includes things like how much a rancher would get compensated if a wolf kills their livestock. And it also says the goal is to get 30 to 50 wolves over the next 3 to 5 years. But the state does not know yet where they're going to get the wolves from. Several neighboring states claim they haven't talked to the Colorado Parks and Wildlife Commission at all. And some don't want to give up their own wolves anyway. Despite that, CPW says it still intends to reintroduce gray wolves by the end of the year.
New this week, the Lunar New Year is one step closer to getting recognized as a Colorado state holiday. The House bill drafted with members of LUNA passed the Senate on Tuesday. This bill is in direct response to Asian American hate crimes across the country. Lunar New Year is celebrated every year at the end of January, so the hope is to make it easier for people to take time off, send a message of inclusivity, and celebrate diversity. The measure, now heads to Governor Polis's desk for a signature.
Another bill waiting for a signature would give home health care workers in Colorado more say over the conditions in their industry. Colorado Care Workers Unite says low wages, limited benefits, and poor conditions are pushing workers out of the home health care industry in record numbers, and that's leading to staffing shortages. The bill would create a board made up of caregivers, people who receive care, and representatives from the state's Department of Labor and Employment. The chair of Colorado Care Workers Unite says she's been working for 3 years to get this legislation passed.
I've been working in this industry for over 25 years, and I don't have a 401k. I don't have the option of a benefit plan. I don't get paid time off. The people that know the industry best are the workers. So it gives us a real voice and an opportunity to make a real difference in an industry that we all care about.
Under the bill, the board must report its recommendations to the state by September of next year.
In Russia this morning, the Kremlin is claiming Ukraine tried to assassinate Russian President Vladimir Putin in a drone strike, but not everyone is so sure. Videos are circulating online allegedly showing the drones approaching the Kremlin. A spokesperson says Putin was not there at the time, but Moscow is calling the alleged strikes a terrorist attack. U.S. officials are skeptical of the videos and Russia's claims.
I can't in any way validate them. We simply don't know. Second, I would take anything coming out of the Kremlin with a very large shaker of salt. So let's see. We'll see what the facts are.
Ukraine says such a visible drone attack would be against their interests since Putin could use it to justify catastrophic damages to Ukrainian cities. The Russian government is saying it now has the right to retaliate.
Some national news that we're following this morning. A man is in jail after police say he shot 5 people inside a doctor's office. At least one of those people died. Police searched for Dion Patterson for hours before they arrested him. They say he was waiting for an appointment with his mother when he started shooting, but they're still trying to figure out why he did it. In Oklahoma, investigators now say a sex offender killed 6 people and himself. Police found 7 bodies in the small town of Henrietta in eastern Oklahoma on Monday, but they didn't know exactly what happened there until now. Jesse McFadden was supposed to appear in court on Monday in a new child sex abuse trial. And in New York City, a man is dead after someone put him in a chokehold on the subway. Now people are protesting his death. And as a warning, part of this video might be hard to watch. Police say the man who died, Jordan Neely, was homeless and struggled with his mental health. They say Neely got on the train, was saying some very aggressive things, and that's when someone put him in a chokehold. The medical examiner has now ruled it a homicide. So far, no charges have been filed.
And one thing you want to know about our weather today, it's going to be a little bit cooler than yesterday's near 80-degree readings. We're looking at 50s, 60s, and 70s along the Front Range, and a chance for some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Then tomorrow, an isolated storm or two, and temperatures a bit warmer with 60s and 70s.